Hey everybody, checking in here. Wanted to give you a quick tutorial on the new three-dimensional CAD program that we're going to be working with. So clearly the program's called Onshape, and the good part about this is it is essentially a AutoCAD program that is extremely similar to Inventor, and it's completely web-based. So first thing I'm going to show you how to do is what you're going to need to do to make an account. When you make this account, you need to make sure that you are using your school, your education email. That's what it's going to be referred to as. So your school email is what you're going to need to do. So you're going to go in here over to sign in. Clearly, I already have a login, so I can sign in. However, for you, you're going to need to sign up. And if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see Onshape Education. So you'll click there. And right here, this is where you are going to just fill this out. It's very self-explanatory. First name, last name, your school email. You guys will be a student, and you're going to be K to 12. Check that box. They'll send you a confirmation email. They'll just verify that you're actually in school, and you will be all set. So once you actually get your login, and if you have issues with that, please feel free to email me. I want to give you a little rundown on how this works. So you guys will be able to complete your first assignment so we can get going to start designing some things for the people at the front lines. So when we worked in Inventor, you guys, when you would create different types of files, you guys had IPT files or assembly files or drawing files. Onshape's a lot different in that aspect. Everything is web-based, so it's a little bit easier to navigate if you ask me. I'll let you guys be the judge. So that's certainly one of the main differences between Onshape and Inventor. Which we'll get to more of those later on. So if we go over here and you see this create, you can create a document or a folder, just like you would on a typical CAD program, CAD program's file. Here, you're just going to name your file just like we always would. So I'm going to call this tutorial. I'm going to call this tutorial 1. Hit OK, and we are going to see something that looks extremely similar to Inventor. Automatically saves your file, and it'll work very similar to Google Classroom, that it'll save as you go. So for those of you that are comfortable with Inventor, you can see that the ribbon is consistent, right? So we're in the three-dimensional tools. So we have extrude here, we have revolve, we have sweep, we have loft. And as you go down, just like in Inventor, you'll be able to hover over, and if you wanted to shell something, there's your shell. Okay. Over here, you have the navigation cube, right? So if I want just the front view, there's the front view. If I want the right view, there's the right view. For those of you that have access to a mouse, by clicking the top of the actual wheel and dragging, you can move your navigation. You can orbit the entire 3 planes. You can zoom in and out the same exact way. For those of you that like the click ideas, instead of focusing on the cube, you can use those as well. So already I'm seeing the unbelievable similarities, right? Over here, you have the 3 different planes. We can turn them on and turn them off, just like you had in Inventor. So we're going to go through here and we're going to create a little sketch. Okay, so just like Inventor, you have the 3 different planes. The only difference is they call it the x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. They're just renaming them to what you guys would probably find more comfortable. I'll start with the front view. So here, typically in Inventor, it would automatically zoom into your front view. This option actually doesn't. So all you need to do is just click front. If you do not wish to see these actual views, you can turn them off, right? So all that did is now I only have a sketch plane instead of having all three of the guided planes, right? Um, as most of you probably noticed, our ribbon here changed from our three-dimensional objects to our two-dimensional objects and tools that we can use with those. So if I wanted to create a bunch of lines, notice the dimensions are there. Yes, we definitely can dimension each one of those. If we wanted a rectangle, there's our rectangle. If we wanted a circle, there's our circle. So those of you that have been working within this class know this is unbelievably similar. You right click to escape whatever tool you'd be on. And let's do one more, why not, with a polygon. So we'll do this one, why not, right? So if we wanted an inscribed polygon, you have the option to stick with a triangle, or we could go up to a decagon, or more than that, right? Let's go with a pentagon. Okay, so just like Inventor, you're gonna right click, hit escape from the tool that you're using, right? The computer's not smart. It's just like the program won't think for you. You need to tell it what to do. Okay, so overall, I'm hoping you guys are seeing that the green check is the same thing with Inventor of stop drawing, right? So you'll go ahead and hit that green check. And as you can see, our view is available for us. So if we go on the side, it looks like a straight line because that's our three-dimensional view, right? If I wanted to extrude these individual pieces, I could do this shape. In this case, it's 1 inch, right? This feature I feel like is much more intuitive than Inventor is, because for those of you that know we're going to eventually remove pieces, right? You can add or remove. You can do it at a certain depth. So normally I'd ask you guys for a number, but let's go with 4. You can see that 4 inches is the new individual plane. So we extruded this circle to create the cylinder, and as you can see, our sketches went away. No different than Inventor. Right now, if you hover over here and uncheck the eye or the visibility, you can get these individual tools back. If I use the cube over here, I can see that I could extrude any one of these individual shapes. So let's say I want to do the pentagon, right? We can do that with 1 inch or whatever we would want. And there you go. So I'm hoping you guys are seeing how unbelievably similar the transition will be from Inventor to Onshape. The last thing I'm going to do is just show you how to remove or delete an individual sketch. So what I mean by that is, let's say that we wanted to draw on this cylinder. So I don't know, we'll go back into this sketch. Notice all of a sudden the ribbon has all my two-dimensional shapes. So cylinders make me think of Pringles cans. So I'm going to do a P for Pringles, right? So there's my individual P. So I have two different options if I wanted to cut that individual P out, right? I could extrude this out this way, or I could remove it, right? Just like Inventor. Right, there's our Pringles can, the P is out, or we could go back into that extrusion, just like Inventor, and have it go the other way, right? We could drag it back out. You could also use the dimensioning tool, which is going to be the final thing that I show you right now. Those of you that are seeing all of this and are overwhelmed, please do not worry. We have plenty of time to relearn this, but I think many of you are going to see that it's pretty easy to make the transition. So the final thing that you guys are definitely going to need to know is the dimensioning. So I'm going to return back to my original sketch. And I just want to make you guys aware, just like Inventor, if you hover over everything in here, it'll tell you what that tool is, right? Over here is all the constraints, right? There's your perpendicular tool, so on and so forth. So if I hover over this one that says dimension, and I click dimension, right, you'll see that I'll be able to edit that. So if I wanted to make this 2 inches, I can do that. If I wanted to make this 3 inches, hit enter, I can do that. So overall, it is extremely similar. And I'm looking forward to what you guys are going to create over the next 2 weeks. Obviously, if you have questions, feel free to reach out to contact me or email. And this will lead us to our next assignment. And I thank you for watching, and we'll be moving along here. Good work.